6:30, you guys. Someone's running a skill saw. Why? I do not know. But sometimes the work ethic of my parents is a bit much. .30 a.m. people, just another morning at the Hamiltons. I'm going to get up and make coffee because apparently the day has started. Hello all, having awoken to the sweet chirruping sound of Dad's skill saw, I am now full of coffee and cleaning the bathroom with this nice lemony fragranced cleaning product because today is a big day. You see this awful ugly patch here? That is going to be covered up with a big mirror that Mum's had made, and it's coming today at about 10 o'clock, and then Mum and Dad are going to have to install it. And as you can see, it's going to be quite a job because it's a big stone wall. So I said to Mum, so basically you and Dad are going to have a horrible day with a happy ending. And she's like, that's about right. So I am cleaning the bathroom so that we can enjoy the beautiful mirror in a clean environment. Although now that I think about it, this is probably somewhat foolish because it's going to be construction zone, isn't it? Which means it's probably going to be full of dust and messy, and it may waste my time. But hey, at least the shower is clean, at least the hand basin is clean, and at least the bath is dust-free. It is such a dust collector, you guys. It just, you go in here, ugh, I can't believe there's so much dust in there. But it is currently dust-free. And yeah, the mirror will be coming soon, and who knows, maybe a giant mirror being installed will be as interesting as a chandelier. I don't know, but could be interesting, and I'll keep you updated. Whoop. Oh yeah, that's nice. Can we take this off? That is such a big thing, but it's not that so thick, so it's not so heavy. Oh.
I'll get rid of that dog.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to hurt. You can sit on those lugs. Oh, look, those lugs will be quite handy to sit it on too. Now, I made that so that you can take that off and never glued it on.
Oh, it's just about sitting under it.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do. It's perfect. It's beautiful. That is really, because look, this colour picks up this.
It's not going to come in.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's so much nicer. Do you want me to hold it so you can stand back there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's going to look quite luxurious.
Those things there.
Those things there will be quite useful.
If we can.
They'll be really useful.
Do you want it up hard up against there?
No. Yeah. That's what I wanted, so it's sort of centred. That's why I moved those tiles. It doesn't even look like getting it on. It's going to be such a big deal. No.
The other thing is this thing at the back.
Yeah.
We can do that and we can hook it up on the back. This will hold it down here. Probably all we're going to need.
Yeah. I'm glad we never took those lugs off at the bottom because you don't even see them, but they should
kind of, because this is rounded, they should... That's really good.
Hello all, it's Editing Ruthie just popping in to say, oh, sorry. Are you done? Thank you. It's Editing Ruthie popping in to say that I lost a bit of footage from this next bit, but I thought I'd just explain, otherwise it doesn't make sense. I was having a little nap, and then Mum and Dad, who'd been to Bunnings, which is one of the most favourite places in the world, came rushing in. Well, Mum came rushing in and she said, Ruth, Ruth, and I woke up from my little nap on the couch under the air conditioning unit. Well, across the room from the air conditioning unit. Well, this is neither here nor there. I do not know why I'm telling you about air conditioning unit. Anyway, the point is they're like, you have to come to Bunnings, you have to come to Bunnings now. We've found something we think you'll really like. And you shall see that I did really like it. And then we went to Aldi's, and I filmed that for you too, because hey, when you live in Australia, going to Aldi's is probably a more authentically Australian experience than visiting the Sydney Opera House. So I thought you'd like to see it. Enjoy! And here we are, going to one of our most favourite places ever, Bunnings.
But they don't own it, do they?
So cute!
Little fairy playground.
Here's Dad investigating the aisle of shame in Aldi's to see if there's anything interesting that appeals to him. So I think the reason they call it the aisle of shame is it's all the stuff no one's wanted to buy, and then they put it in the middle of Aldi's and suddenly it gets exciting and we all want it, I think. And I found a giant bottle of pickles, which I'll show you when we get home. Yes, those are going to look very cute. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put them, but I can already see Mum and Dad were right. These are just the sort of thing I like. So cute! Good morning all, it's Ruthie. I'm just going to poodle out and give our lawn a water by hand because I don't think Dad's sprinkler system is reaching it quite as well as he thinks it is. So I'm going to do this before it gets really hot, and then I'll come inside and give the house a tidy up because you have to do these things in order, and if I do the house first it'll be too hot to get out and do the lawn. So come on, let's go look at the lawn. Well, as you can see here, it's practically thick enough for a pony, but a pony would get rather hungry rather fast because over here, it doesn't even look like a garden ready for vegetables. It's so dry. So I am going to give it a little water and see if I can't spread the water around a bit more so we can get the whole lawn looking like something that could feed a pony, although it would still be too small for a pony. And I'm very aware of this because if we had room for a pony, I'd probably get one. Okay, I'll get the hose. I like watering things with a hose. Makes me feel like a big kid again, actually. Well, I suppose I am a big kid, really. But I think this is sensible. I think that, well, I mean, you can see, can't you, the area that's got the water is, it's not even doing better, it's doing something, and the rest is doing nothing. So I think this is quite a good system, actually. Gosh, it's dry. We really are living in a desert, aren't we? Oh, and look at our pumpkin over there. Isn't that a marvellous colour? I think that's really pretty pumpkin. And Mum was complaining that the pumpkins weren't doing very well this year, but they seem to have decided to do quite well now. And they seem to have really stopped being lazy. They're starting to be productive. And I approve of this because production is very important, especially when we're talking about pumpkins, which are yummy, and I like them a lot. Well, I've just finished watering the lawn, so I really should start finishing the dishes. But I think it might be time to go and harvest our single cluster of grapes, because since we rehomed the garden lions, and the house lion seems to have fired us, shifted on. Hopefully it's just a business trip, but I don't know. There are a lot of birds in the garden, and birds like grapes, and if the birds get those grapes, I mean, admittedly, I am a bird lover, but my depth of affection for our feathered friends does not extend to allowing them to eat our only cluster of grapes. So I shall now take you with me on this monumental occasion to harvest our single cluster of grapes. Come on, let's go. So now that I'm in the garden looking at our single cluster of grapes, I'm having second thoughts. You see, it has a few green ones at the top, and it's supposed to be a reddy pink cluster. However, it is looking a bit damaged. This is a huge responsibility, and I wouldn't like to harvest it ahead of time, but by the same token, I don't think the birds are going to be as picky as us. And that grape has already caused considerable drama in the family. On the weekend, we sat around and for half an hour accused each other of having suspicious intentions towards the grape cluster. And Mum even told Dad that she didn't want him to go into the garden and mindlessly hoover it up without even tasting it and not tell us that he had harvested it. And he said he was not in the habit of mindlessly hoovering up things. And Mum said he was. And she's now in New Zealand. Well, it's not going to last the whole time she's in New Zealand. So I'm going to climb around and have a look at that grape, and then we will see whether I can bring myself to harvest it or not. But I'm definitely leaning more towards yes than no, because I jolly well don't want the birds to get it. Ugh, it's so confusing. I wish we had more than one. It would make it less of a philosophical question. Oh, look at that. Apparently, Mum and Dad were out here taste testing it for ripeness without me, I'll have you know. And I just wish they'd had the artistic sense to take it from the top, not the bottom, because now it's not the perfect cluster, is it? Oh, I don't know if I should pick it or not. But if I don't pick it, okay, maybe I should test one. I should test one. Surely I deserve a taste test. Right, we'll see how this goes. Oh, I don't want to crunch in your ears, so I'll just turn off the camera and then I shall give you my opinion. Well, it's definitely not bad, but I feel it could be a little bit riper. Problem is that there's only so many grapes you can take from a single cluster to assess the ripeness of said cluster before you have no cluster. So you see how it is, but I think on the whole, because this is a monumental decision, I should probably wait till Dad gets home and we can decide together, because it's a lot of responsibility when you have a grapevine that just goes on and on and on and on and on, and yet it has decided to produce a single cluster of grapes. Really not very impressive. You can see why, on the whole, we don't grow our own food, because we would starve. We're not very good at it, but it's looking less and less attractive too, because people keep sneaking out here and testing it for ripeness, which is not the way to preserve an entire cluster of grapes, I must say. But on the whole, I think I'll just leave it a bit longer. Oh, hello, sunflower. You're a lovely little sunflower. Just adorable. Well, you see what's happened. Now there are no cats in the garden. I've taken to speaking to sunflowers, which seems insane. But I can't help it. It looks so friendly. Perhaps I'll come out and put some little eyeballs on it, and that'll make me seem more normal. Yep, that'll be very helpful. I'll do that now. You probably thought I was joking, but I wasn't. I didn't. I put eyeballs on my sunflower, so now I can talk to it as much as I want when I'm going up the steps, because when you think about it, to not speak to an eyeballing you sunflower would be rude and discourteous, and Ruthie doesn't really do rude or discourteous, and I am extremely happy with my eyeballs on my sunflower. In fact, I'm thinking about putting eyeballs on all my sunflowers, so I can talk to all of my sunflowers when I'm out there with my watering can. And you know, I just might do it. It remains to be seen whether I can be bothered or not, but It's definitely a possibility, because how cute is Bob? Say hello, Bob. Say hello. Hello, hello. You see, he talks. It would be very rude to ignore a talking sunflower with eyeballs. Oh, yes, it would. Oh, and of course Ruthie can do rude and discourteous. I meant to say she's trying not to. She's a work in progress. And frankly, without God and the Bible, it wouldn't be good. Well, Mum went to New Zealand suddenly, which means it's just me and Dad here. And he misses her terribly because she's his best friend. So whenever this happens, I try and keep him happy by cooking the things he most likes eating. It's not the same as having Mum around, but does seem to put him in a good mood. I made a really good meaty pie last night, which we'll have the second half of tonight because it was too big for two people to eat. And it was very good actually. I made it very, very meaty and chunky, and that was quite good. And now I'm making him a ginger loaf, which I know he really likes. It's my own recipe. It's cane sugar, cane sugar and dairy free. So it's relatively healthy. I'm not going to say what the calories are. I don't know what the calories are, and I don't think they're low, but it's pretty delicious, so he should like that. And I mean, I do it partially because I love him and I want to keep him happy while Mum's away, but I also have my own personal reasons for being very pleased with him at the moment. So I think what I'll do is I'll just pop this in the oven and put a timer on, and then maybe I'll take you downstairs and show you why I think that Dad deserves ginger cake. Also, I'm not going to lie, one of the advantages of many of my recipes is that because a lot of them have ingredients that you can absolutely eat raw without getting sick, because a lot of my recipes are either vegan or vegan adjacent, is that I get to lick the bowl, which I really like. Okay, let's go down. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, while I'm going down, indulge me for a moment and give me your opinion. Have you guys ever seen Paddington Bear? That marvellous, marvellous movie where when Paddington arrives at the, is it the Browns' home? I think it's the Browns' home. Anyway, they have that gorgeous tree mural going up the staircase, and Mum and me have wanted one ever since we saw it. And I said to Mum we should put one going down into the basement, because I'm inclined to feel that because the environment is less formal, we couldn't mess it up too much. And she said, well, where are we going to put it? Because she says she doesn't want the trunk coming up here because it would have to go up through that lip, which would look strange. And as a fellow artist, I completely understand her concern. But while sitting on the staircase the other day and pondering this, yes, that's what I do sometimes, I think I could bring the tree up here and then have it all blossoming as you come down, and I think that could be quite cool. So that's, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe I'll have another go at her for a mural when she gets back. So let me know in the comment section what you think, and because I am in the wonderful position of being pretty sure this vlog really only goes out to my friends and family, I have no doubts you'll do the right thing and side with Ruthie so that Ruthie can build a very strong case for painting a tree mural and your compliance is appreciated. Thank you. I might even hide your name on the tree somewhere if you agree with me. Okay, so here we are. This is why I'm so very, very pleased with Dad. After 10 years of Latin, I decided that it was finally time to start learning French, which was always the plan, that once I'd done with Latin, I would start moving on to French, because that appears to have the most commonalities with English. And I'm being very strategic about this. This is a very long-term plan, as evidenced by my 10 years of Latin. But I am now at the point with my Latin that I think it's time to move on to French. So I said to Dad, on Sunday, I said, why don't you set up the DVD player downstairs so we can watch a movie? And Dad said, I think you want to watch a movie. And I said, that is very true, but I thought the phrase, we could watch a movie, is a much politer way of saying it, that set up the DVD player so I could watch a movie. And he sort of smirked. And then I said to him, anyway, don't you want to watch a movie? And he said, well, I wouldn't mind blobbing out for the afternoon, because he just dropped Mum off at the airport, so he wasn't sure what to do with himself. And then I said to him, well, don't you think it's likely we'll want to watch different movies? And he said, oh, yes! So he came down here and set up the DVD player for me, which is very kind of him, because it's just the sort of thing I'd be no good at. Because, you see, we have this humongous collection of DVDs. I mean, gosh, I don't know how many it is. We've never counted, and I don't want to find out. After a childhood with no TV and 2 movies, The Sound of Music and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we were only allowed to watch the whole of The Sound of Music. Mum thought that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was creepy with the child catcher, but anyway, that's another story. We're only allowed to watch half of that. Oh, and I think there was a promotional video for Disneyland. Anyway, our 2.5 films. When we got big, we became obsessed with movies, including Mum and Dad, and we have a lot of them. Well, the really good thing about French, you see, is that it's, obviously it's quite a common language, which means many English films can just be flipped over to French. So even though at the moment I'm only focusing on the reading part of French, I have my own little system for learning languages, which I am basing on how I observed people learn when I was teaching English. I think personally it's a bad idea to try and do everything at once. So I'm just going for reading comprehension at the moment, and it's going really well. Every night I read a chapter of the King James Bible, and then I read that same chapter in Latin in the Vulgate, and then I read that chapter again in the French Bible. And it's great because my Latin's getting better and my French comprehension is well, I've tried to learn French before, you guys, and I can tell you that learning French from English and learning French from 10 years of Latin, totally different experience, and I would highly recommend it. It's definitely working. Anyway, to prepare myself for when I want to start talking in the language, which will be inevitable because I like talking, I'm going through our DVD collection and I'm switching the DVDs to French instead of English. So Dad came down here and he set up the DVD player so that I could sit down here and watch The Minions in French. And no, I'm not going to try and say it in French, but it's actually a really good choice because they already sound quite French, and I think there's a big French influence in these films anyway, so it's just really enjoyable. So that's why I'm particularly pleased with Dad, because he set up the DVD player for me, which is something I would be very horrible at doing. So that qualifies as a big act of love, because otherwise I just wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm very grateful to him, and that is why I think he deserves ginger cake. And now that I think about it, I shall put, I have a timer on the cake, which means I have a few minutes, which means I can make myself a cup of tea and I could lick the pudding bowl and watch the Minions and thus improve my French. That, I think, is a very good idea, and I shall go and put the jug on so I can pursue this most excellent plan. Essential equipment to learning a language, in my opinion, is tea. Tea and snacks, because if you think about it, babies learn best when they're snacking, although not on tea, obviously. And I thought while I made the tea for myself, I would ask who's celebrating Valentine's around the world. Because did you know that in New Zealand and Australia, it's not really a thing. I mean, it's enough of a thing that it can support the floristries, because I guess people get the idea from TV or whatever. There's a lot, most of our TV is American, so I guess that's where they're getting our TV shows, and well, it was all British, but I'm pretty sure that idea is coming from America. And enough do it that it's a big day for the florists, but it's not really a cultural thing. And I always found it quite interesting too, because, you know, I worked as a florist, so I saw the other side of it, and I think the most amusing one was high school students who would send in their mothers to buy them roses because they didn't want to be the only kid in their class that got no roses. But of course it was all the mothers trying to fortify them against having no roses. And then of course you got the men coming in for the roses, and it just, well, the flowers in general, and it just, everyone was so stressed about it, like it was such a performance thing, and it struck me as such a strange thing that this day allegedly that was all about love was so performance focused, and the people involved seemed to be so miserable, especially the ones that came in the second day because they'd forgotten the first day. And I don't know, I'm not sure if it's just because it seems strange because it's not really a hugely cultural thing where I'm from, or it was strange because you could tell some of these men had absolutely, well, they looked like they'd been yelled at to me. Humans get a certain look when they've been yelled at, and it just seemed a bit strange because love is patient, love is kind, love is not rude, it's not boastful, it keeps no record of wrongs, you know, it's I think it is above all, it serves, and it doesn't demand to be served. So it's always struck me as a bit strange. But those are probably just the rambling thoughts of a New Zealand florist, and I think now I'm going to shut up and put on my French movie. You see, English, words I cannot pronounce, but I can, can't even use the remote. Hang on a minute. Don't want that, don't know what that one is. There we go. Switch it to French. Voila! Oh, look at me, speaking the language already. Oh, there's my freshly made ginger loaf for dad people, and it smells amazing. You can find the recipe for that on my blog over at Me and the BFG. I'll put a link in the comment section below. Also, I told you at the start of the week I'd show you the giant jar of pickles we got from the Isle of Shame in Aldi's. Well, it was a giant jar of pickles, but Dad and me are here without Mum, and we like pickles, and gosh, having Mum out of the house certainly removes a certain element of interest. She's usually popping in with little ideas and things, and yeah, anyway, the point is that no Mum equals more pickle eating, apparently, because our giant jar hasn't lasted all that long, has it? But anyway, the loaf looks like it's turned out really well, so I shall just let that cool down, and hopefully Dad likes it when he gets home. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for another week here at ZealAus Publishing in Rosebank House. I shall wish you a very happy weekend. That's just me and Dad, because Mum's in New Zealand and the house lion is still away on his business trip, and I think Dad misses him worse than anyone, because Dad keeps saying, Dad misses the cat more than anyone else misses the cat. I think he misses Mum more. Although he does ask me every evening, has the cat returned? And he doesn't say, have you heard from your mother? But that's probably because he talks with her all the way home from work, because he rings her up as soon as he drives out the gates, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, you guys, have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if the world turns dark, turn your home into a lamp. Bye-bye.